Welcome back to Financial Management class. This is the continuation of our lesson in short-term financing. So for today, we will be answering some of the exercises and I will explain to you some of the examples related to short-term financing. So the first one in our lesson material is all about the computing the free trade credit and the costly trade credit and also the annual cost of trade credit. Okay, so for the first one, we have here the question, what is the free trade credit? So again, before we answer problems, the first thing that we have to do is to check what is required in the problem. Okay, so the given here is ABC company purchases 10 units of raw materials each day with a list price of 250 per unit on terms 2 over 5 net 25. So let's go back to our basic knowledge in credit terms. Okay, so what do we mean by list price? This is our catalog price. So, mo ni siya nasa lista sa kumpanya or sa store kung pila man ang baligya niya sa iyahang products. So, remember that the list price may be subjected to a trade discount. And if you deduct the catalog price from the trade discount, you will get the invoice price. Okay? So, this is a review of your basic mathematics or business mathematics nga class. Okay? And then we have these credit terms. This is our credit terms. So we have 2 over 5 net 25. So what does this mean? You will get 2% discount. 2% discount if you pay within 5 days or if you pay 5 days from the date of purchase. And what is this net 25? You're going to pay the entire amount in case you will not take the discount, you will pay the entire amount without the discount, net of discount, within 25 days or 25 days from the date of purchase. Okay, so now let's compute what is the free trade credit. So the free trade credit is equivalent to 12,250. So how do we get 12,250? So that's equivalent to the list price times 10 because this is the total purchases nato. That's this is 2,500 and we multiply it by 98%. How do we get 98%? That's equivalent to 100% minus our cash discount rate. And what is our cash discount rate here? Our cash discount rate is 2%. So that's why 98%. And times 5. Nganong 5 man po ni siya because 5 is our discount period. Okay? So you will get 12,250. So that's our cost or the cost of the free trade credit. Next, what if the problem asks what is the costly trade credit? So the costly trade credit is equivalent to the purchase which is 25 times 98% gihapon net of the discount times 20 days. So what is 20 days? How do you get that? That is equivalent to the credit period minus the discount period. Our credit period here is 25 minus the discount period nga 5. So you will get 20. So the costly trade credit is 49,000. Mo ni siya the number of days, 'di ba, nga wala ka naka-take advantage of the discount. So that is the costly trade credit. Kay wala nato napahimuslan na aman tay na forgo nga discount. So that's why it is costly. Next is what is the nominal annual cost of the trade credit? So this is how you will get the answer. So that's equivalent to the cost of trade credit. We already have this formula earlier. So since it's a 360-day year, so we are using 360 as our number of days in a year. So apply the formula. Our cash discount rate is 2%. Then denominator is 98 because 100 minus 2%, and then you multiply by 360 over 20, which is, again, mao ni siya tong 25 minus 5, which is equivalent to 20 days. And you will get 36.73%. Now, what is the annual cost of the extra credit? So that's equivalent to 49,000, which we obtain in letter B, times 36.73% obtained in letter C, and you will get 18,000 pesos. Okay? Another example, a company has accounts payable of 6,150,000 with terms 4 over 5, net 40. So what does this mean? You will get 4% discount if you pay within 5 days. If you do not take the discount, then you have to pay everything within 40 days. So, naa siya'y utang na 6,150,000 and it can also borrow funds from a bank at an annual rate of 20% or pwede po siyang wait until the 40th day until maka-collect na siya sa iyahang mga halin para mabayaran niya ang utang. So, na siya two options. So, two options on how to pay the 6,150,000. Ang first option niya is borrow from the bank. Borrow from bank nya maka-incur siya og 20%. Ikaduha, pwede po siyang not um, pay within discount period, not pay within discount period and pay it on the last day, on the last day of credit period. So meaning kaning option 2 here is don't take the discount. And the first one here is you have to take the discount. Okay, nga mo take man sa discount kay mangutang man ta og money from the bank. So again, there are two ways on how to pay our 6,150,000. Pwede tang bayaran nato within the discount period, but we have to borrow from the bank and we have to pay 20% interest, or do not take the discount and of course, pwede ka mo take the discount, you will not pay within the discount period and you will pay it on the 40th day. Enough na para nalakay collection. So what is the total cost if the company borrows funds on the last day of the discount period in order to obtain the discount? So kung mo grab ta sa discount, mo ni siya tong option 1, mo take sa discount. So pila man di ay ang tinuod niya nga gasto sa pagpangutang. So amount to borrow from the bank is the amount due within the discount period. So that's 6,150,000 times 96%. Kanang gimultiply mo siya 96, ma'am, kung mangutang man day siya og 6,150,000. Remember, pag mobayad siya within the discount period, dili man 6,150,000 yang mabayaran. Di ba makuhaan man siya og 4% nga discount. So therefore, pila man ang iyahang bayro nun kung mubayad siya within the discount period. So makabayad lang siya og 5,904 ay 5,904,000. And then, what is now the cost of borrowing? So, pila man gyud gasto sa pagpangutang kung mangutang magani siya para bayaran ning 5,904,000. So, that would be equivalent to 5,904,000. Mao naman lang ni iyang utangon times 20%. Kanang 20% man na siya kay 20% man ang annual rate times 35 over 360. Kanang 35 over 360 man ni siya. So remember nga ang number of days or ang credit period nato kay 40 days. Unya ang ato ang discount period is 5 days. So therefore, that is the difference between 40 and 5. So mao na siya nga 35. Okay? So in this problem, we're using 360 days as our denominator. But again, if ang problem nag-provide na siya 365 days or 360 days, you follow what is required in the problem. So for this example, we're using 360. In some problems, they use 365 if the problem is silent. Okay, so for this illustration, we're using 360. So you have 35 over 360. That will be equal to 114,800. So, mao na siya nagasto nato sa pagpangutang. pangutang. Now, what is the cost if the company waits until the 40th day when it will receive revenues? So, sa may nawa sa iyaha. So, ang nawa sa iyaha is ang discount. Di ba? Pag mubayad siya sa 40th day, di siya makakuha sa discount. And pila man tong discount nga iyaha untang na kuha or na-obtain kung nibayad pa siya within the discount period. That's equivalent to 246,000. Question, sakto ba ang iyahang, sakto ba ang desisyon nga mobayad na lang sa 40th day? Mas maayo ba nga mobayad na lang siya sa 40th day? So, based on the example here is, unsa man ang mawa sa iyaha. Okay? Unsa man iyang malos. So, this is the value or the amount that is lost if mag-pay on the 40th day. So, meaning, do not take discount. So, mo ni ang mawa. Pero kung mangutang siya, niya makabayad siya interest 20%, but actually dili gyud 20% iya mabayaran kay 35 days raman siya makautang. Anong 35 days raman makautang, ma'am? Kay di ba ini ka 40th day, pwede naman niyang makolekta ang iyahang halin. So kung makolekta na siya sa iyang halin, edi bayaran niya ang bangko on the 40th day. So pila ra gyud ang gasto niya sa sud sa 35 days? Only 114,000. So asa may mas dakong mawa sa duha? Mas dako bang mawa ang mo take sa discount or mas dako ang mawa kung dili mo take sa discount? So since dako ang mawa kung dili mo take sa discount, so therefore dili ni ang maayong option. Okay? Dili ni siya ang maayong option. Unsa man dapat di ay? So ang dapat is borrow funds and pay on the last day of the credit, pay on the last day of the discount period. Again, unsa may maayong nga buhaton? Mangutang sa bangko, bayaran ang utang sa sud sa discount period, nganuman because mas lesser ang cost sa pagpangutang kaysa sa adtong discount nga nawa. So kung papilion ka sa duha, mas dako kag pagmahay kung mobayad ka sa 40th day kay mas dako ang discount nga nawala. Okay? Next example is how to choose among the short-term financing alternatives. So, saan man ko na itong pagpamili? Asa man ta pwedeng mangutang. Kung mangutang man ganita niya, gilatagan ta sa mga options, asa man kaha ato ang pilion. Okay? Of course, if we are going to borrow, pag mangutang ta, we have to choose the borrowings that will have the least cost. Okay? Least cost. Pinakagamay nga gasto. So, pinakagamay nga interest. Okay? So, asa man kaha diri ang nay pinakagamay nga interest. So, that's why it is appropriate that we have to get the effective interest rate. Effective interest rate. Unsa man ning effective interest rate? This is your real nga rate. Mao na siyang tinuod nga rate. Because what we see here, like for example, 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, these are just nominal. Okay? In paper ra na siya. But in reality, dili gyud na mao ang atoang nagasto. So let us convert these terms into the appropriate effective rate nila. So for option A, we have 1/10 at 30. So the formula is, di ba, if you can recall, that's cash discount over 100% minus the cash discount times the number of days. So for example, we are using 360 over, you have here the discount, the credit period minus the discount period. So that's why we have this one, 1% over 100% minus 1% times 360 over 30 minus 10 because we have 30 and 10 here. So you will get 18.18%. Next one is 2. 2% over 100% minus 2%, that's 98% times 360 over 60 minus 15. So mao ni siya, 60 minus 15. You will get 16.33%. Option C, we have 100% minus 3%, kay 3 man diri ang ato ang rate, times 360 over 90 minus 15. This man ang 90 minus 15, mao ni siya. And then you will get 14.85%. And the last is, the bank offers 14.75% per annum per year ni siya renewable discount loan. Unsa man pasabot og discount loan, ma'am? So pasabotan na niya is na ay advance interest. Unsa nang advance interest, ma'am? Meaning gi-minus daan ang interest. So makuha na ato ang madawat nga money kay giuna man og deduct ang interest. So for example, kung nangutang ko og 100 pesos niya ang interest kay 10 pesos, dili ko kadawat og 100. Ang madawat nako lang kay 90. Na naman gimaynusan naman daan sa creditor ang ako ang giutang, gimaynusan na niya sa 10 pesos nga advance interest. So that's why here, that's 14.75% over 100% minus 14.75. Kay discount loan man siya, so gi-minus daan ang interest. So now you will get 17.30%. Okay? So again, what type of borrowing are we going to choose? We have to choose the one with the least cost, pinakagamay nga cost. So among the four, asa man diri ang nay pinakagamay nga gasto, that's 14.85%. Okay? Okay, so next, here are the sample formulas on how to get the effective interest rate. So we'll start with letter A, that's for single payment notes. So for single payment notes, it means that you will pay the note on maturity. So the effective rate is equal to the nominal rate. So if we're going to convert this one to percentage, that's equivalent to interest rate over 100%. So this one is in peso amount. Okay, if we're going to use the rate, for example, the nominal rate is 4%, so the effective interest rate here is also 4%. Ganun 4% man siya because if we were going to apply this one, that's 4% over 100, so that is still 4%. Next is if it is discounted note. So, that's a note with the advanced interest. The same with kaning sa ibabaw. So, that's interest, that's in peso, and the principal amount in peso, and discounted interest in peso. So, if we're going to compute this using a percentage, so this would be equivalent to um, interest rate over 100% minus the interest rate. Okay, so nga na siya. If there is a compensating balance, di ba, kinahanglan man na siyang ipabilin, di man na ipagamit sa atuan ng compensating balance. The same, i-minus siya, the same with the discounted note. So again, these are in peso amounts. Peso na sila. If we're going to convert this into a rate, so this would be interest rate minus 100% minus the compensating balance. Okay, nga rate. And then if this is in terms of discounted, so you have interest rate minus the 100% minus the um, interest rate ng advance o compensating balance rate. So dapat puro po sila mga percentage. Okay, next is what if the term of the loan is less than 1 year? So, mo nga kuhaon na to ang days loan outstanding. Okay, so pila man kaadlaw ang utang. So, that's interest over principal times 360 over the days loan outstanding. So, again, if this is in percentage, so you have the interest rate over 100% times 360 or 365 depending on the problem, and this is the katong price ganiha bitaw katong cash not cash credit period minus the discount period, so mao po ni siya loan outstanding pod siya loan outstanding. So this one discounted siya, so that's interest rate over 100% minus the interest rate times again 360 and the loan outstanding, days loan outstanding. If it is a compounded note, so this would be the formula. It's 1 plus I over n to the power of n minus 1. Our n here is the number of compounding periods and I here is our nominal interest rate. So as an example here, we have a national credit card carries an interest rate of 2% per month on unpaid balance. So again, that's 2% that is for 1 month. The question here is calculate the effective rate per semi-annual period. And remember, what is a semi-annual period? So a semi-annual period has 6 months. Okay? So now how do we compute the effective rate for a semi-annual period? So we have here our interest rate, of course, that would be given, that is 2%, but we have to convert it to 1 year. So that's why, not 1 year, we have to convert it in semi-annual. So since there are 6 months in one semi-annual, so that's why 2%, which is per month, times 6 months. So there is a 12% 12% interest per one semi-annual. So that's why this is 12. Next, we have what it will be our compounding period. So our compounding period now is 6 times in a 6-month time period. You know, 6 times man siya, ma'am. Because, di ba, pila man ka months, so how many months are there in one semi-annual? So in one semi-annual, there are 6 months. So therefore, 6 times ang 6 months. So 6 times in a 6-month time period. Yung 6-month time period naman siya, ma'am, because it is a semi-annual. So therefore, that would be 6. 6, yeah. Okay, na may 6 ka months in one semi-annual. So just substitute in the formula, so you'll get 12.62%. Okay? Next, if the interest stated is 5% per quarter, find the effective rates per semi-annual time period. And the second one is annual time period. So remember, how many quarters in one semi-annual? So there are 2 quarters in one semi-annual. That's why our compounding period here, our N is 2, because there are 2 quarters in one semi-annual. Okay, and why is it 10%? Because since there are 2 quarters in one semi-annual and that's 5% per quarter, so that's 5% times 2. So that's 10%. Okay, so you will get 10.25%. Next one. Uh, since it is annual interest time period, so how many quarters in 1 year? So there are 4 quarters in 1 year. That's why our N is equivalent to 4. Next, why is it 20%? Because, di ba, that's 5% per quarter and there are 4 quarters in 1 year. So therefore, 5 times 4 is equivalent to 20%. That's why this is 20. So the answer here would be 21.55%. Okay? Next illustration. So Frame Supply Company has acquired a large account and needs to increase its working capital by 100,000. So mag-need siya og 100,000 pesos. There are 4 sources of funds. So mao ni ang pwede natong kuhaan sa 100,000. The first one is are going to use factoring. So pay a factor to buy the company's receivables. So, mangita ta og financial institution nga mopalit sa receivables nato nga makakolekta og 125,000 per month and have an average collection period of 30 days. And then the factor will advance up to 80% of the face value of the receivables at 10% interest and charge fee of 2% on all receivables purchased. The controller estimates that the firm would save 24,000 in collection expenses over the year. So kung yang ibaligya ang receivables, dili na siya makagasto og 24,000 sa pag-collection. So assume the fee and interest are not deductible in advance. So dili siya discounted. The second option is mangutang sa bangko 110,000 and then there's a 12% interest and na ay compensating balance needed. So remember nga 'di ba dili man tanan nga money atong makuha kung na ay compensating balance. Kay 'di ba ipabilin man na sa bangko ng compensating balance. Next one is issue a 110,000 of 6-month commercial paper for 100,000. Okay? And then borrow 125,000 from a bank on a discount basis at 20%. Di ba pag discount po na siya kay ang interest kay i-deduct daan. So dili na pod equivalent to 125,000 ang ato ang ma-receive. But there's no compensating balance required. So since lahi-lahi man sila nga mga options, so the best way to compare these four options is to use the effective interest rate. So that's why we will compute their effective interest rates. So we have alternative A. So for alternative A, di ba, you are going to pay the factor. So mag-factoring ta. Unsa may magasto nato pag mag-factor ta? So that would be the interest expense, which is 100,000 times 10%. Ganun 100,000 na siya because this is the amount that you need, di ba? This is your needed money. So ang interest na niya is 100,000 times 10%. That is 10%. 10,000 pesos. Because ingon man siya nga na ay the factor will advance up to 80% of the face value of the receivables at 10% interest. Then we have the charge fee. So ngano man nga mao ni ang amount sa tong charge fee. So ingon siya, charge fee of 2% on all receivables purchase. So, di ba, ingon man diri nga 125,000 per month ang receivable, di ba? So, tanan man nga receivables ang gi-purchase, so that would be for 1 year, that's 125,000 times 12 months. Because we will be needing the 1 year ani niya, 125 times 12. So that would be 1,500,000 times 2%. And then this 24,000 savings is on the collection expenses nga dili na niya magasto kung iyahan ng ibaligya. So the interest rate, so the interest over the proceeds is 16 over 100,000. So therefore the effective cost of factoring is 16%. Next for alternative B. So B is borrow 110,000 from the bank at a 12% interest. So, di ba, what is effective rate for this one? Na may compensating balance. So, that would be equal to, we have the net borrowings. So, this is our interest. Okay? Di ba, this is your interest over the net proceeds. So, that's 110 times 12%. This is our interest over 110 times 91. Anong times man na siya 91 because this is 110,000 minus the compensating balance. And our compensating balance is 9% of 110,000. So therefore, this would be 110 times 12%. That's 13,200 over 110 times 0.91, 100, 100. So that's 13,200 divided by, so you will get 13.19%. Next, for letter C, you're going to you're going to issue a commercial paper for 110,000. That's 6 months and it will be issued every 6 months. So therefore, how much is the amount? That would be 110 minus the face amount of the commercial paper. So the interest for 6 months is 10,000. So to get effective rate, that would be interest over the proceeds. Okay. So our net proceeds here is you have 100,000. Kaya may ato ang giutang. May net proceeds. So that's 10%. And since we're going to get the annual rate here, so 10% times 2, so that's 20%. Cost of letter D, so borrow 125,000 from a bank on a discount basis at 20%, no compensating balance. So we're going to deduct. So again, this is for the interest. So you have interest over the net proceeds. So that's equivalent to 125 times 20%. So 125 times 20% over, you have 125 minus the, or pwede po siya ilargo, times 80%. So 125 times 20, so that's 25,000. And then 125 times 80, so that's 100. So that's 25 divided by 100, so that's 25%. So again, why is this 80%? Because 100 minus 20% nga, this is our compensating balance. So, diba? Sorry, di siya compensating balance. This is our interest. Discount interest. Discount interest. Okay? So, among the four choices, so which one has the least cost? Asa may pinakagamay of cost? So, that's alternative B, 13.19%. So, kung mangita kag source of funds among the four nga na mga offers imuha, you choose the least cost. So, the least cost here is letter B. Kay ang iyaharang cost kay 13.19%. Okay? So in our next lesson, we will be answering the end of lesson exercises. So stay tuned for our next video lesson. If you like this video, please don't forget to click subscribe and hit the notification bell to be updated with the latest video lessons. Thank you for watching.